The hate crime that happened with me was actually a telephone call, a voicemail left for me, a hateful voicemail.
Okay, so may I ask, was it a threat on your life, or what exactly happened?
I took it as a threat. Let me just back up for a moment. So I just want to let you know that I do record my conversations because I need it for my own records. So
as well as we.
Okay. So I just want to mention that. Yes, I took it as a threat. It was a song, a slavery song, referring to the N-word more than once and saying something about dragging people in the back. And I don't know. I don't remember the exact context, but it was very racist, and it came from a block number.
Do you happen to know? I understand it came from a block number, but do you happen to know where or who it might have come from? Like a guess?
Well, I can tell you this, that I am the victim of targeting. I am a targeted individual, and I am the subject of many hate crimes on a daily basis. And I've reported it to the police at least 20 times, to internal affairs in Oakland. I've spoken at Oakland City Council about it I can't even count, countless times. And so it's a known fact that it is happening to me and to my family and to many others in the city as well. And so I'm assuming that it is related to the hate crimes that I endure every day.
Okay. So based on the information that you've given me, it sounds like it is a disturbing your peace and it is a threat to you. So what we can do is we can get an officer out to you to make a report on that threat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you consider that disturbing the peace and not a hate crime?
Well, it's a disturbance to your peace. That's what it's called.
Okay. Would that fall under the hate crime category?
Well, I'm not an officer.
Okay.
I would not be able to fully categorize what they will label it when they make a report for you, because there are different penal codes for it.
Okay.
So just based on solely on the information that you've given me, I would say that it would be a threat because you feel that your life has been threatened. So I would categorize it as a disturbing your peace, and it is a threat to your life at the moment. There is a penal code for a hate crime, and an officer can go into further with you as far as asking you proper questions, and then they will be able to recategorize your report if it is a hate crime or is it a threat to your life.
Okay. And will I be able to get a police report when they come?
Yeah, when they come out to you, they'll ask you a couple of questions, and they'll fill out their paperwork, and they will give you a report number on a blue card at the end.
Okay. And do they actually follow up, and do they investigate, or do they just simply take a report? Because I have filed numerous reports, and I've never gotten one follow-up.
So if you are saying that you filed reports on the past that are in the same category as what you're describing to me now?
No, well, they were not text messages or telephone calls left. Well, actually, yes, I did receive many harassing phone calls years ago. I don't remember if I reported those or not, but I have reported the community-based stalking and harassment and the police harassment many times. And I have documented reports of that.
Okay. So with that, what you can do, or I'm sorry, what I can provide you with is the Criminal Investigative Division. If it is our report number, let's say, for example, when an officer from Oakland Police Department came out and took a report for you and they provided you with a report number, you can call the investigative division and let them know, hey, this is my report number that I received when I made a report. May I get a follow-up or a status update on it? And they'll be able to advise you on where the status of your report is or what kind of questions they may have for you. And the reason why I say if it's from Oakland is because there's other agencies that who govern our our city as well too.
Okay.
So if you ever made a report with somebody else, you would have to contact that specific department. But based on what you're telling me, it seems like you only contact with the Oakland Police Department. So you can contact the investigative division and then ask them for an update on the reports that you've already made with us.
Okay, well, this is a separate incident, and so I would definitely, absolutely like this documented separately from those other 20. And I have spoken with investigator. I'm trying to think of her name. I have it all documented, but I have spoken to an investigator. I've spoken to the city council members. I've spoken to the Citizens Police Review Board. I've spoken to all of them, and I'm not getting any help. So this is escalating. This is, I do take it as a threat on my life because it's very racist. So you mentioned for me to call the investigative unit. So when the police officers come out here and they take a report, they don't automatically transfer this to be investigated. I have to, or the citizen needs to request an investigation. Is that how it goes?
That's not what I said.
Okay.
What happens is when an officer takes a report from you, you fill out the report, they do their paperwork at the end of the day, they submit it, and it goes to the proper department in the investigative division that handles, XYZ crime. And then when you call that number, you can provide them with the report number, and they can put you towards the person that is either one handling your case or two, the person that is at that department at the moment that can answer your questions.
Okay. Now, do they have a way of tracing block numbers?
I don't know that. I'm not too knowledgeable because that's not my department that I work in.
Right.
I'm not quite sure what resources that they can utilize to assist you in that.
Okay. Now, what is the FBI's role in hate crimes? Do you happen to know?
Well, that's what I went in the beginning when I asked if it was over the internet or through in person that the threat that you're receiving. And all I know is that if it's anything over the internet, it would have to be referred over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation because they handle any hate crimes that is over the internet.
Okay.
As far as anything else that that you have questions about, I won't be able to answer because that is a referral from us.
So who handles the cellular devices?
That would be the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, so the FBI, because it was a cell phone. So we're back to the FBI. So they would handle it, correct?
Well, without knowing the whole, everything from start to finish on how it began, if you got a phone call, voicemail, and it's from a person that you think that you know, then it would be, we usually try to get an officer out to you so that they can ask the proper questions because they're trained in that. And then if they need to refer you over to the FBI, then they would refer you over. But well,
I'm saying to you that I do not know who it is, that I am a victim of community-based harassment, and that it is very well documented with the city of Oakland. And the internal affairs and the city council and the Citizens Police Review Board and more. So it is very well documented. And I do not know who this was.
Because sometimes we don't know where the root of the action happened. We usually send an officer out to you so that they can further investigate as far as asking you the proper questions that they're trained on.
Okay.
And then they can refer you over if need be. But if they can handle it, they will take the report for you.
Now, do we have a local FBI here in Oakland? I believe we do, down on Clay Street.
We have an office here, and the after hours is a San Francisco office.
I think they're on Golden Gate in San Francisco, and I think they're on Clay Street here in Oakland. Do you have a telephone number for them?
For the Oakland office, I do. Do you have a pen and paper?
Let's see. Let me just write it here. So maybe I'll give them a call tomorrow because... Okay. Go right ahead, please.
The Oakland office is going to be 510 808
2600. Do you have a certain department or a referral name or an officer?
We don't have it doesn't specify a point of person of contact. It just gives us the Oakland office FBI division. I'm sorry, FBI Oakland office division. I'm sorry.
And they're on Clay Street, right? Is it 1212 Clay or?
They're going to be on Grand.
Oh, they're on Grand.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
thought they used to be in that federal building near on Clay Street. Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate your help.
Sure, no problem.
And yes, I definitely would like an officer to come. Do you know what time they would arrive? Because I do need to run out tonight.
I don't have an ETA for you. The only thing I can offer is to have them give you a call when they're on the way to you, to give you a kind of like an ETA as far as, hey, we're dispatched to your call, we're on the way to you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, what's the address that we're meeting at?
Hang on 1 second, please. Let me put this on.
May I have you spell it so I can have it correct?
Okay, Renata. Last name is Murry, no A.
That's phone number to contact you at, ma'am?
510-688-7277.
510-688-7277?
Yes.
All right. So, Ms. Murray, I have you at 10200 Dante Avenue, and I advise them to give you a call when they're on the way to you, and we're going to get somebody out to you as soon as we have somebody available, okay?
Okay, I really would like for them to call first because I will be running out and I don't want to miss them.
Sure, not a problem.
Okay. And this won't be like 2, 3 in the morning, will it?
I hope not. If you feel that it is too late in the day, definitely give us a call back and let us know, hey, I'm going to go to bed now. I will call back to reopen the call when I am awake.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right?
Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye. All right. Okay, so I cut part of it off. But she did say that they're going to send an officer, and I asked her if they could let me know when they're coming because I need to run out. So she said that they would. She seems like she was discouraging the FBI, but from what I understand, they're the ones that should be taking care of stuff like this. But she said it would be at the officer's discretion. So we'll see what the police officers say. But I'll call the FBI on my own as well tomorrow. Let's see. I want to call somewhere else too. I can't remember because I did 2 or 3 takes on this particular video, so I can't remember if I mentioned that you guys were extra supportive. So thank you. So supportive in the comment section of the video with the hate crime, the hate voicemail. And Lamont was the first person who mentioned that I should report it because in that video I said, what's the use? Because, you know, they don't really help TIs. But I kind of went against my own rules because I always say if it's something really serious that we really should have it documented. Even though the majority of the time they don't help, but it's important to get certain things documented because it becomes your evidence trail, especially when it's something tangible like this. So thank you, Lamont. Cupcake also mentioned that I should report it. Thank you, Cupcake. And I think it was Vantonia. Sorry, I messed your name up. But thank you for suggesting that I report this. So that's what I am attempting to do. Let's see. Okay, so this will be phone call number 2. And it's late, so, but I couldn't do this while I was at work today. I don't know how far I'm going to get. It's kind of late. I may have to stop this video because they...
How can I help you today? You can say anything from representative to change rate plan to make a payment. So briefly, tell me the reason for your call.
Representative.
Okay, I'll get you over to a representative. For verification, please enter or say the last 4 digits of the primary account holder's social security number, or say, I don't have it.
See, this is where I'm going to have to pause the video because I don't want to give my husband's personal information. Renata Murray.
Hi, Renata. How was your evening?
Good. How are you?
I'm actually doing great, Renata. Thank you so much for asking. So, how can I make it even better for you?
Okay, so I have a question for you. I'd like to know, I was left a voicemail that is of a threatening nature. It's a hate crime hateful voicemail message, and I'd like to know if you guys have any kind of units there for your customers that take care of these situations.
You mean like we can hinder that person who's trying to threaten you to get any connection with your number? Is that correct?
No, maybe I'm not making myself clear. What I'm saying is someone left me a racist voicemail. And I'd like to know if T-Mobile has a unit there that investigates these type of crimes.
I see. Well, I do apologize, Renata, but we don't actually have like department who like what do you call this? Like some people would actually go to that person's place to reprimand them. We only have here the fraud department that is actually processing fraud victims or anything like that. But in regards of any threatening or hateful voicemail or text messages or calls, we normally advise our customers to report this directly to the police.
Okay, yes, and I did call the local police. I just thought I would call you guys as well. And I meant to mention to you that I do take my telephone conversations, okay? I do that for my own records, okay?
I understand.
Okay, I forgot to mention that. So you guys don't have any sort of investigative unit or anything for the customers when they are victims of a crime over the telephone, over the cell phone, I should say.
Are you asking what? I really do apologize, Renata, if I'm keeping on asking you these questions that are just repeating what you're saying, but I'm having a hard time hearing you properly.
Okay, I'm saying I'm pretty much asking the same question. I'm just reiterating because I want to make sure that I'm being clear. So you guys don't have any kind of unit that will investigate a crime over the cell phone for your customers, correct?
No, we don't have that kind of department that investigates the crime.
Okay.
For a specific for a specific line or a specific mobile number. So I'm sure what we have here is a fraudulent department that takes care of fraudulent acts on a specific account.
Okay. All right. Well, I will just report it to my local police. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for understanding also, Renata. But do you have any questions about your account? Anything that I could process for you?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Renata, and I hope that the local police will be able to determine, because once they call T-Mobile and request for that recording, they will be able to do that.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too, Renata. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, so there you heard it. T-Mobile does not have any sort of investigative unit or anything to help people who are subjected to these kind of hateful voicemails and telephone calls. So I'm glad I know that. I'm surprised. I would think they'd have something in place, but she said you have to, I need to charge my phone. She said that you have to report it to your local police. So that's what I'll do. I have to go out in a couple hours. So no doubt they'll come. The police will more than likely come either when I'm gone or right when I'm leaving or right when I get back, because they like to synchronize with you as well. So, you know, you guys know I get harassed by the police. So I really don't like them coming to my house. But I'm going to take you guys' advice. I'm going to take my husband's advice because he said we should report it as well to get it documented in an official place. And that really is what should happen. It really is. I started not to do it, but I'm glad you guys encouraged me to. So thank you. I'm glad my husband encouraged me to. They won't be coming in. I never invite the police in my house. I don't do that. I go outside. I stand outside. A lot of times when you open the door for the police, they will motion their way in, and you open the door and you let them in. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that in most cases. Now, I guess if it's something serious going on, maybe. I don't know the laws in every state, but here you don't have to let them in. But because they motion like they're coming in, we think that they're showing authority and they have to come in. But I don't let them in. They don't need to come in. Nope. So they will not be coming in. I don't care what time they get here. We're going to stand on the porch and we're going to take care of this and see how far we get. And I will keep you guys posted because I have no idea what the procedures are for these type of crimes. I do know that when they've come before, they try to what's the word? They try to bait you. Is that what I'm looking for? Coerce you, lead you into all kind of different conversations. And so be careful when you guys talk to police. Don't volunteer anything. Answer the question. And think about the question before you answer it, because I'm telling you, I could tell you some stories. When I was telling that first lady how I've gone down to internal affairs so many times before I knew I was targeted. I went, I think, like over 20, for sure, over 20, because I used to go every day after work and complain about the police following me and harassing me. But they were constantly interrogating me as if I was the criminal and I was there to report a crime, and coercing me. I'm probably not using the right word, but coercing me into different conversations, trying to get me to admit to stuff that I hadn't even done. You know, so they would say stuff like, well, why do you think the police would be following you? And I would say, I don't know. They don't have a reason to follow me. It must be mistaken identity, because that's really what I thought. And they would say things like, but if you had to guess, what would you think? You know, and then you being nervous and upset and just wanting this stuff to stop, you'll guess. So people don't realize when you do stuff like that, they'll use that like an admission. And they have professional, what do you call them people? Professional people that do those computers, that know how to splice those tapes and put it all together to make it look like you said something that you didn't say. So I'm very, 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 very careful when I talk to police, because they're not nice to me. They harass me all the time, and I'm pretty sure they know when they're going to a target's house. Pretty sure. When we had the problem house across the street, I mentioned that a couple times on my call. Oh man, it was a crack house, and man, oh man, every day the police were over there for something. Every day. And one Saturday, well, what the police would like to do when they came over to that crack house across the street, well, she's gone now, but when they were there, they'd come 5 and 6 and 7 cars deep. They would come with all these police cars and all these sirens, and they would always park in front of my house. And I finally figured it out. They wanted people to believe that they were at my house. So I started going out there saying, excuse me, officer, very nicely. Excuse me, officer, would you please move your car, because the activity is not over here. But anybody coming down the street, you know how people gather because they see all these sirens and things, and people come from different blocks and everything. It looks like they're in my house. And they would do that every time they went to that crack house, every single time. A couple times they were on bullhorns, and oh, it was very dramatic. Police dogs, the whole thing. Where were they parked? In front of my house. And I would go out there each time and say, excuse me, can you please move? Now, it's parking all over on the other side of the street, but they want to park in front of my house with their sirens and everything. Same when the ambulance would come. The ambulance was always over there too. They park it right over here. So one Saturday, we were going somewhere, and there was drama over there. And the police were over there, and they blocked my driveway. And that wasn't the first time they blocked my driveway. And I would always take a picture of it. So they blocked my driveway, and we couldn't leave. We were trying to leave. So I said, excuse me, officer, would you mind moving your car? Because you're blocking my driveway. We're trying to leave, and your police business has nothing to do with my house. And so he said, well, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? I said, not before I bring my camera out and record it. He was really surprised I said that. I said I would, and so he proceeded to ask me questions. He wanted to try to ask me if I had seen any activity over there or whatever he was trying to ask me. And I told him, I said, I will not answer one question until I am filming this conversation because I don't trust them. And that's really sad. We are supposed to trust law enforcement. They are supposed to protect and serve, but they don't protect and serve the average target. And I don't trust them. And I told him I'm not saying one word, nothing, until I am filming. And I had my cell phone, I put it on film. I said, now, what is your question? He said, have you seen any activity? I said, no, I have not seen anything. Nothing. Nothing. I have not seen, I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. Nothing. Because you know what? All the crimes that happen over here, all the times, and I didn't say this to him, all the times that our cars have gotten stolen, and it's been many. We always get them back, though, but it's been many. Nobody has seen a thing. All these perps around here that's everywhere, scattering everywhere when we come out the door. None of them seen anything. None of them seen any of the crimes that happened over here. Nobody seen who put the dead black cat. Nobody saw the cars. Nobody saw the egging of my house. Nobody saw nothing. They ain't see the man that was on my porch. None of that. Oh, speaking of the man on the porch. That happened twice. The latest time was last night. After I made that video, and I put that video out there about that a racist telephone call, I went out. I got back home around 11:45, somewhere around there. Got home around 11:45. This car follows me. I got it too. I got it on film. Let's see. This car follows me down my street, which I'm used to that. They do that all the time. And I usually go to the corner up there and I make a U-turn, which they hate that. But I go up there, they had a purpose waiting up there. So I go up there and I make a U-turn and I come back and then I'm back in my driveway. So this perp follows me down the block. It's pretty late last night. He follows me and he tried to make a U-turn behind me, but I wouldn't let him. So I stopped. And so he was forced. It was too obvious. So he was forced to go ahead and make the U-turn before me. He wanted to make the U-turn after me so he could follow me back down the street. But I had pulled over. And so he pulled in front of the neighbor's house. And he got out and he had an envelope in his hand, which was so stupid to me because I had just said on one of my videos, I've done several videos lately, so I can't remember which one. But I had just said how they had a while ago when I was working at this other place that they had put this letter in my windshield. I might have said that on last night's video. I can't remember. But they put this letter on my windshield and the sheriff was sitting across the street. The perp was there and they were waiting to see if I was going to take this note that they had put on my car. And I threw it on the ground. I didn't want to read it. So here he comes with this note in his hand, this perp who followed me up the street, did the U-turn. Then he got out of his car, parked in the next house. He parked in front. I'm talking too fast. He parked in front of the next house. He had this note in his hand. So I'm like, these people really listen to your conversations. They really do. Because I had just talked about that. So he had this note in his hand. He walks up. Now I'm still sitting in my car. He walks up because I'm trying to park. He walks up to my house. This was last night. Walks up to my house, to my stairs. And then he turns back around and he comes back down our walkway. Kind of like, oh, I'm at the wrong house kind of thing. But he knew exactly what he was doing. And then he went to one of the other perp houses over here and he put the note over there. Street theater, that's what that was. So I caught some of it on film, but it's really dark, so I didn't even bother to upload it. Let me see if you guys can see it. But he followed me from around the corner in this car right here. I zoomed in. License plate H8612. And he walked up to my door, and he changed his mind, and he went up to the neighbor's door. And now he's going back to his car. I went to the corner and made a U-turn. He came behind me. There's the car. First because he didn't want to. That's him going back to his car. It was so dark outside, so you guys really can't see it. These people are too much. Too much. Yeah, it was a bunch of street theater. Oh, Lord, what we going to do? We got to pray. These people, they are... Whew, Lord, give us strength. Give us strength. Okay, so anyway, bottom line is this. Tonight I called the Oakland police. They said they're going to send an officer. I have no idea what time. Probably when I'm about to leave or when I just get back. I don't know. One time they just didn't show up. Twice they didn't show up. They didn't show up when we called about the cat. The dead cat. They didn't show up. About one of the cars. And something else. We only call when there's stuff like that. Like when your car is missing, you have to call. Because if something happens in that car, you're going to be responsible. And I think our cars have been stolen like about maybe 4 times. Maybe 4 times. We always get them back. We get them back about a few days later, usually, after we go out and get another car, because we need 2 cars. So we go get another car, and then they mysteriously find the first car. It's just been a mess. It's just been a mess. But that's the day in the life of a target, and we just keep it moving. You know, we just stay prayed up. We stay prayed up, and we don't give up. Keep the faith. So I will keep you guys posted on what happens when the police get here. I hope they don't come in the middle of the night. One time they didn't come to the next morning. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to, if it gets too late, I'll call her and I'll tell her, you know, just forget it, which is probably what they want. But I will make the police report, even if I have to go down there, which I really don't want to do. But I will if I have to. Okay. Thanks, you guys. In that federal building there on Clay Street. Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate your help.
Sure, no problem.
And yes, I definitely would like an officer to come. Do you know what time they would arrive? Because I do need to run out tonight.
I don't have an ETA for you. The only thing I can offer is to have them give you a call when they're on the way to you, to give you a kind of like an ETA as far as, hey, we're dispatched to your call, we're on the way to you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, what's the address that we're meeting you at?
Hang on 1 second, please. Let me put this on.
May I have you spell it so I can have it correct?
Okay, Renata. Last name is Murry, no A.
That's phone number to contact you at, ma'am?
510-688-7277.
510-688-7277?
Yes.
All right. So, Ms. Murray, I have you at 10200 Dante Avenue, and I advise them to give you a call when they're on the way to you, and we're going to get somebody out to you as soon as we have somebody available, okay?
Okay, I really would like for them to call first because I will be running out and I don't want to miss them.
Sure, not a problem.
Okay. And this won't be like 2, 3 in the morning, will it?
I hope not. If you feel that it's too late in the day, definitely give us a call back and let us know, hey, I'm going to go to bed now. I will call back to reopen the call when I am awake.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right. Okay, so I cut part of it off. But she did say that they're going to send an officer, and I asked her if they could let me know when they're coming because I need to run out. So she said that they would. She seems like she was discouraging the FBI, but from what I understand, they're the ones that should be taking care of stuff like this. But she said it would be at the officer's discretion. So we'll see what the police officers say. But I'll call the FBI on my own as well tomorrow. Let's see. I want to call somewhere else too. I can't remember because I did 2 or 3.
It seems like you will need contact with the Oakland Police Department. So you can contact the investigative division and then ask them for an update on the reports that you've already made with us.
Okay, well, this is a separate incident, and so I would definitely, absolutely like this documented separately from those other 20. And I have spoken with investigator. I'm trying to think of her name. I have it all documented, but I have spoken to an investigator. I've spoken to the city council members. I've spoken to the police, Citizens Police Review Board. I've spoken to all of them, and I'm not getting any help. So this is escalating. This is, I do take it as a threat on my life because it's very racist. So you mentioned for me to call the investigative unit. So when the police officers come out here and they take a report, they don't automatically transfer this to be investigated. I have to, or the citizen needs to request an investigation. Is that how it goes?
That's not what I said.
Okay.
What happens is when an officer takes a report from you, you fill out the report, they do their paperwork at the end of the day, they submit it, and it goes to the proper department in the investigative division that handles, XYZ crime. And then when you call that number, you can provide them with the report number, and they can put you towards the person that is either one handling your case or two the person that is at that department at the moment that can answer your questions.
Okay. Now, do they have a way of tracing block numbers?
I don't know that. I'm not too knowledgeable because that's not my department that I work in.
Right.
I'm not quite sure what resources that they can utilize to assist you in that.
Okay. Now, what is the FBI's role in hate crimes? Do you happen to know?
Well, that's what I went in the beginning when I asked if it was over the internet or through in person that the threat that you're receiving. And all I know is that if it's anything over the internet, it would have to be referred over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation because they handle any hate crimes that is over the internet.
Okay.
As far as anything else that that you have questions about, I won't be able to answer because that is a referral from us.
So who handles the cellular devices?
That would be the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, so the FBI, because it was a cell phone. So we're back to the FBI. So they would handle it, correct?
Well, without knowing the whole, everything from start to finish on how it began, if you got a phone call, voicemail, and it's from a person that you think that you know, then it would be, we usually try to get an officer out to you so that they can ask the proper questions because they're trained in that. And then if they need to refer you over to the FBI, then they would refer you over. But well,
I'm saying to you that I do not know who it is, that I am a victim of community-based harassment, and that it is very well documented with the city of Oakland. And the internal affairs and the city council and the Citizens Police Review Board and more. So it is very well documented. And I do not know who this was.
Because sometimes we don't know where the root of the action happened. We usually send an officer out to you so that they can further investigate as far as asking you the proper questions that they're trained on.
Okay.
And then they can refer you over if need be. But if they can handle it, they will take the report for you.
Now, do we have a local FBI here in Oakland? I believe we do, down on Clay Street.
We have an office here, and the after hours is a San Francisco office.
I think they're on Golden Gate in San Francisco, and I think they're on Clay Street here in Oakland. Do you have a telephone number for them?
For the Oakland office, I do. Do you have a pen and paper?
Let's see. Let me just write it here. So maybe I'll give them a call tomorrow because... Okay. Go right ahead, please.
The Oakland office is going to be 510 808
2600. Do you have a certain department or a referral name or an officer?
We don't have it doesn't specify a point of person of contact. It just gives us the Oakland office FBI division. I'm sorry, FBI Oakland office division. I'm sorry.
And they're on Clay Street, right? Is it 1212 Clay or?
They're going to be on Grand.
Oh, they're on Grand.
Yes,
I thought they used to be. Okay.
So just based on solely on the information that you've given me, I would say that it would be a threat because you feel that your life has been threatened. So I would categorize it as a disturbing your peace, and it is a threat to your life at the moment. There is a penal code for a hate crime, and an officer can go into further with you as far as asking you proper questions, and then they will be able to recategorize your report if it is a hate crime or is a threat to your life.
Okay. And will I be able to get a police report when they come?
Yeah, when they come out to you, they'll ask you a couple of questions, and they'll fill out their paperwork, and they will give you a report number on a blue card at the end.
Okay. And do they actually follow up, and do they investigate, or do they just simply take a report? Because I have filed numerous reports, and I've never gotten one follow-up.
So if you are saying that you filed reports on the past that are in the same category as what you're describing to me now?
No, well, they were not text messages or telephone calls left. Well, actually, yes, I did receive many harassing phone calls years ago. I don't remember if I reported those or not, but I have reported the community-based stalking and harassment and the police harassment many times. And I have documented reports of that.
Okay. So with that, what you can do, or I'm sorry, what I can provide you with is the Criminal Investigative Division. If it is our report number, let's say, for example, when an officer from Oakland Police Department came out and took a report for you and they provided you with a report number, you can call the investigative division and let them know, hey, this is my report number that I received when I made a report. May I get a follow-up or a status update on it? And they'll be able to advise you on where the status of your report is or what kind of questions they may have for you. And the reason why I say if it's from Oakland is because there's other agencies that who govern our city as well too. Okay. So if you ever made a report with somebody else, you would have to contact that specific department. But based on what you're telling me,
the hate crime that happened with me was actually a telephone call, a voicemail left for me, a hateful voicemail.
Okay, so may I ask, was it a threat on your life, or what exactly happened?
I took it as a threat. Let me just back up for a moment. So I just want to let you know that I do record my conversations because I need it for my own records. So
as well as we.
Okay. So I just wanted to mention that. Yes, I took it as a threat. It was a song, a slavery song, referring to the N-word more than once and saying something about dragging people in the back. And I don't know. I don't remember the exact context, but it was very racist, and it came from a block number.
Do you happen to know, I understand it came from a block number, but do you happen to know where or who it might have come from? Like a guess?
Well, I can tell you this, that I am the victim of targeting. I am a targeted individual, and I am the subject of many hate crimes on a daily basis. And I've reported it to the police at least 20 times, to internal affairs in Oakland. I've spoken at Oakland City Council about it I can't even count, countless times. And so it's a known fact that it is happening to me and to my family and to many others in the city as well. And so I'm assuming that it is related to the hate crimes that I endure every day.
Okay. So based on the information that you've given me, it sounds like it is a disturbing your peace and it is a threat to you. So what we can do is we can get an officer out to you to make a report on that threat.
Okay. So you consider that disturbing the peace and not a hate crime?
Well, it's a disturbance to your peace. That's what it's called.
Okay. Would that fall under the hate crime category?
Well, I'm not an officer. I would not be able to fully categorize what they will label it when they make a report for you because there are different penal codes for it.